teaching a lot of subjects to the undergraduate in higher education, undergraduate and postgraduate both. So about teaching a class, whether it is a small class or a bigger class or maybe 20, 60 or 80 or even 150, any strength. Okay. So our effort should be made. The teacher should make the effort keeping the class interactive. That is the most important. Okay. So what I observed on many occasions that the teacher is teaching and students are listening. Okay. And listening means we feel that they are listening and their mind is somewhere else. Okay. So many of the students means attracting their attention is the main job of our instructor. So keeping them engaged in your content and in such a manner that they feel very enthusiastic to listen and also enjoy the content and learn out of that. If that thing somehow could be achieved, okay, I think most major impact of outcome-based education can be achieved. That is what I feel. We can define in many terms and all that everybody is talking about, but delivery is the definite skill or attribute of an instructor only. Okay, so going through many techniques and so many things and all that means terminologies of outcome-based research, taxonomy, and all that. I think everybody knows that. But finally, the subject understanding and delivering it very skillfully will be the most important task of the instructor. So in that sense, what I have done that since I have experience of teaching even international level at South Korea, a class of around 150 and all that, South Korean students, and also South Korean students were very much worried about taking the class of an Indian person because they are actually worried about accent and whether they will understand the subject or not. I have taken an immense effort, and also I found that accent should not be a major issue if you tell them properly. And also for initial 2-3 classes and all that, we should make a practice of, and they got the two advantages like English also and also the content of the subject. So in that sense, what I appeal all the participants here that the study material which we are using for teaching or delivering subject should be actually enriched one or good one, and we should be very thoughtful in making the study material. And this study material should be made available well in advance to the students. That is another thing. And if it is made available to all the students, appealing to the students that they should go through this well before our class teaching will actually happen. And we should appeal them that they should try to interact with each other and also make a group and also go through on their own what they're under at higher level. I think in higher level education, we need to do all this, that they are already having their own perception about what is going to happen in the class. So that is one thing. And also, I have also observed that during a semester break for next semester, what are the courses which they are going to take, they are not aware of. This is also one of the problems I have seen. They just come empty-minded after the vacation, and they don't utilize their vacation period for preparing or planning initial level to the next semester, something like that. So a small input from the instructor side to these students will help them to at least be aware about what they are going to learn in the next. Okay, and that is about the vacation. And also for the actual teaching also, we should offer them well in advance the teaching material, so that when means what I am saying is how to become an interactive class cannot happen automatically. it will happen with these type of techniques. If you provide them the complete inputs initially, then they will go through it, and there will be definitely, given a class of 60, let's assume, there will be always some very good students, talented students, around 10 to 20%, then average students, and some not interested student types of also there. But we as an instructor, we have to take along everybody, and particularly the last one, so that to make them motivated to learn something and with interest. So that will be a great idea. So if they have gone through the material, then definitely when you are teaching, and if suppose something, some of the students have some doubt, definitely, because all teachers are, means teacher is not perfect always. If something goes wrong, and I also appeal all the faculty that the teacher should develop an skill to understand the student psychology. So student psychology in the sense that they, what types of difficulties, if they read on their own, what are the types of difficulties they can imagine. Okay, a talented student, what type of difficulty can he have? Average students or not interested student also, means you have requested them to go through it, and while reading they may face some difficulty. So on their own, if they are doing something, and afterward in the normal classroom teaching, if you are going through that, then definitely the student will be asking you some very good questions, and then you will enjoy the class in an interactive mode. So for that, effort from the faculty is definitely needed in this direction. Okay. So this is what is actually an outcome-based education. Finally, the conclusion will be something similar, that we are in what way on ground level, how to deliver the lecture in an effective manner. That is the most important thing. So if you do all this, then this will enhance the liveliness of the classroom. That is the most important thing. And the student will be engaged, and student, normally the class, suppose 1 hour, I have experienced that unfortunately after finishing 1 hour, we can't understand 1 hour is over, and the next instructor is standing and he is waiting. So that type of things happened with me many times. So it depends on the skills of instructors. The what I want is the another thing is that, for example, the basic knowledge of the subject. I can just give you an example that what level of thing. It's an I would like to share one news or story which happened actually, but I will not name and all that. A chief engineer from a power company, electricity power company. Okay, at home in summer season, normally they use coolers, water coolers. I think everybody knows. And a young kid of his own was playing a ball nearby in the balcony, and the ball got near the under the water cooler, and unknowingly he touched the cooler, and he tried to take the ball, but he got electrocuted. Okay, and this was the news in the newspaper. So this is the most unfortunate thing. Now, what I want to give the message is, the chief engineer who is having a master degree in electrical engineering, and who is the head of the power company itself. Okay, what it means that having knowledge or having something and not applying it actually can cause you a huge damage like this. Okay, so it is very simple that he didn't check the earthing status at his own level, or might be not understood the earthing itself. Okay, so such type of events loudly speaks about the level of or the simple basic minimum things that we are missing in our education. Okay. So I think I have given this example only to give you the most important thing, that how the things happen if we do not take it seriously. Okay. So this is a gap of knowing the things and applying the things. Okay. So for example, many of the engineering students may not know the specifications, orientation of the equipment that they are handling at home. Okay. Earlier there were fuse at home. Now there are circuit breakers. Then many people are using so many things at home, but their minimum, maximum possible ratings, like what is power line, what is normal line, what frequency. All these things are only for grade or exam. That is really the situation which is happening in India across, and which is not a good sign for the conceptual understanding of everything and applying it practically. I hope most of you will agree. And I think we should take, even in a higher class, in MTech and PhD, I always say that the student should first learn the basic minimum things first, and the complex things which are there, which are actually based upon the initial understanding, which is very important. And only then, if you do not know some basic things, then how you are eligible to solve the major things? That is the question which I ask always. Okay. For example, a voltage source and a current source. Okay. Since I belong to electronics and communication, I will be giving examples. I'm not sure how many participants are from belonging to electrical and electronics background, but it is we are saying engineering, right? So engineering itself means everything, the common sense, okay, across the branches. Okay. So earlier, I think Madam Ojha also was quite active in taking care of this basic things first, like in the form of engineering literacy. Okay, is one of the course. Engineering literacy means all the basic minimum things which are required by all the engineers, all the disciplines who are finally using the title engineering. Okay, so that includes reading the drawing also. Okay, that includes, you should know what is the plan, elevation, and everything. So you should, even a computer engineer or computer science engineer should have the ability to read plan, elevation, and all that. Okay. So even though he might be a great programming expert and all that, earning a lot of things and all that, but that doesn't matter. But as an engineer, he should have all the things, like exploded view means what is different types of drawing. Looking at that, he should be able to understand what is. So only then he can cross the level of managerial level and reach to the height. Okay. Even I think I am nowadays, even financial literacy is also one of the important things. So all these things which makes the human being a perfect visionary will be a major task for a degree program, basically, and the course delivery also. Okay. So the gap of having a degree and education and applying it is quite a large, and I think our government and NEP 2020 has understood it, and we are trying to bridge the gap in the form of giving most important skill programs and enhancing their understanding of all these students. So hope you understand all this. So what I was telling is that I have observed that many electrical engineers, for example, voltage source and current source, theoretically they do all the things. They solve major complex numerical problems. And basically it is misunderstood that problem solving is only to get the exam and grade and finally finish. So afterward, after when it is really required. So one of the misunderstanding among the students that current source is normally is not a practical thing. It is a theoretical derivation of a voltage source, and most of the student confuses there. Voltage source is practically available in the lab, but current source is nothing but a representation on the paper just for the sake of analysis purpose. I hope I would like to be interactive. If anybody has any saying about this, you can definitely ask or send the message on this. So hope.
Yes, if there are any questions, anything that you want to discuss with Professor Kundekar sir, you please raise your hand. I will unmute you.
Yeah. So whenever it comes, please let me know. Okay. So practically, I have observed that students misunderstand between this, and that's why we have to be quite careful while telling them that the voltage source is actually a practical thing, and a current source is just a derived symbol for the voltage source. And there are various techniques that we know how to resolve the numerical question. So basically, analysis and design, these are the two things which are most important. And even outcome-based education, I think that takes the. So without analysis as a first learning, okay. So analysis is what is the major content of nowadays in most of the courses. That means already well-established knowledge we are trying to learn, we are trying to develop our skills over that, and that is the analysis. Okay, and synthesis or design. So design means you are trying to apply. Okay, so why exam system, taking a exam of a design-oriented pattern is quite difficult for an instructor, and that's why you will see that many of the exams at electrical or any other thing, they normally check how much he has gained the knowledge, or by certain extent, to some extent, some people try to develop some their deep understanding about how to apply and all that. But for example, finding out a voltage and current across or through in a complex circuit, you can apply various techniques and find the voltage and current. Okay, depending, and you can use the optimum technique required to solve that in a minimum time. So there are various theorems that mesh analysis, node analysis, the maximum power transfer theorem, source conversion, and all that. So depending on the circuit configuration, you are trying to find out which one is the optimum to solve it within the minimum time. So that is the analysis. And suppose the circuit is not known, but the performance is given to you. Then, for example, a square wave is given to you. Okay, and the frequency, amplitude, and everything, and the impedance level and all that is given to you, and the purpose where it should be used is also given to you, and design a circuit which will generate this with minimum cost. Okay, I'm sure there will be a huge trouble for everybody that what will be the solution for this. There will be plenty of answers, different answers. Okay, so unless you know the application where it is going, means for what purpose it is used, this square wave is required, and what you are driving. Without that, completing that design in an optimum manner will be difficult. You can generate a square wave using a huge microprocessor also. You can use only a transistor as a switch. You can use any operational amplifier. So many different things. Okay. But then what is the most important thing? Unless you know where it is to be used and what should be the optimum performance and at what cost. Okay. I think somebody has raised the hand. Bhavi, can you go
sir,
ahead?
good evening, sir.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
what you are
just a minute.
saying is
Yeah.
perfectly right, sir. What you're saying is perfectly right. We have to have that is the teaching methodology and the assessment methodology has to be gaining a fruitful result to the students. But
Yes.
here, what is the problem we are facing is that the students
Mhm.
are from different background.
Correct.
So the students, those, because as of Tamil Nadu is considered, you know that we have different types of syllabus. Some of the schools, they follow CBSE, some
Yes.
follow state board. So in such a sense, what happens is that the state board students always, they have an habit of mugging up everything, so by hearting
Yes.
everything. But whereas
Right.
the CBSE students, they know whenever a problem is being given, they analyze, but they lack in writing. For example, if you give a descriptive type of questions, the
Yes.
CBSE students fail because they cannot repeat whatever that is being in the book or something like that. So we have different sects of students. So
Yes.
in such a case, how to deal with these kind of problems? Even though
Yes.
we are analyzing slow learners and that is well organized students, all those things, we find it difficult actually. And the
Right.
time
Right.
constraint is that because we have to complete a syllabus within this stipulated time. So
Yes.
even
Yes.
though
Yes.
we have lot of ideas to put forward and to make an assessment fruitful, but we have a restriction in these aspects.
Yes. I understand, Ms. Bharti. It's a great question, and it is faced by one and all actually. And in this regard, I think we are actually instructor skills, like designing with constraints. There are so many constraints. So as you described, okay. So what I am talking about is the minimum basic things which are most important, without which the student should not go ahead. In the sense, unfortunately, our exam system is such what you are described, right? Memory oriented, and student is mugging up something and just trying to remember the thing and just republishing it in the exam according to his memory and a basic element of understanding. So interactive class, that is what is the most important thing. But as you said, there are many constraints for many institutions or everybody, that we have to finish up the syllabus in a required time, and also we have to teach a lot many subjects, and so many things are there. So definitely it is a tremendous task for the instructor, as rightly said by Bharti. And I can only say that it depends on individual, that how he will take care of this dilemma of delivering and also attracting the students is the most important. So best way is to identify the most talented and motivated student and let them also motivate to interact with others. Okay, those who are lagging in understanding. So basically, it will be a great practice to develop a dialogue among the students themselves. And in this information era, you know, uh, I don't understand why the uh, student feel very happy if the teaching material some from, or even a teacher hides the teaching material and he creates a unfortunate scene that, okay, just to create that importance, that what I am teaching is not known to him, but while I am delivering the things, only then it will be known to him, something like that. And the questions from where you are asking and all that is actually totally illogical nowadays, because everything is available at the click of button. Okay. And the another issue with this information explosion is that students do not understand exactly which one is the correct information in Googling also, and which one is the best thing for him. So I think instructor's job even to teach them that how to search a great material for their understanding will be good thing. So that's why I say that teacher should made available everything to them in well in advance. Okay, and appeal them to go through everything and then actually interact in the class and teach them normally, so that we will get. And even I think you see, even teacher can learn okay, from the student, because there will be a talented student. And suppose, for example, a newly acquired PhD graduate is a new teacher in your institute, and he has to also learn, right, how to teach and teaching skills. Okay, so unless he is interactive with the student, he will only deliver his material in the normal way, and the student also just think about, okay, he is our instructor, he will respect, but he will just try to remember, he will analyze his previous year's questions, he will set a pattern, he will just think his professor for last 4 years only asked these questions. So all these things, I think, has to be taken care by instructor in such a manner that the students will really get interested into the subject. It is quite difficult to giving satisfactory answer to your question, but I hope you got my point, Bharti.
Yes, she has muted herself. I
think, yeah, it's okay. So one of the interesting thing I will show you that student how they do not understand like basic things first. So if all instructor, suppose for example there is a 4-month semester, basically semester is 6 months, but everybody knows that actual teaching does not happen 6 months, so 4 months. So 1 month you should invest in basic things first. Okay. Second month, you should try to engage the students in slightly higher level type of thing. And third and fourth, definitely it will pressurize you to finish off your requirement of your institution or your organization and the university and all that. So right from the day one, if we are thinking of examination and grades only, okay, even the student and teacher, then I don't think we are going to achieve real skill or knowledge in developed in an actual manner in the student. So finally, what is happening is those who are capable students, means only few of them, maybe 10%, not even less than that, they do on their own basically. Okay, and we get the credit. Okay, some people like that, they go like this. So anyway, how to identify their, so basically the student psychology needs to be understood well in advance by the teacher. Means what type of thought process they might be having, just like what you said that they are mugging up, that is their psychology. So in that, we have to think about how to interact in the class. Okay. For example, like capacitor, inductor, resistor, these are the very simple things, but very basic things. But even in that, voltage, current, and all that relations, they also mug up. Okay. And they mugging up without understanding cause huge problem while applying. Okay. So for example, if you ask the equation of voltage and current across capacitor or inductor, many students, around 40 to 60%, will confuse whether to write I is equal to L dV by dt or Ci di, something like that they will do. Okay. So the capacitor, everybody knows that there is an insulator. Okay, and the mugged up sentence is that capacitor blocks DC and it allows AC. That's all. That is the thing everybody says like that. But I think that's only a elementary thing that he knows or we are telling him. But I think you should make him quite comfortable with real understanding. Practical capacitor has their own value. Okay, and also one funny thing I will show you, that when I asked this in the first year engineering student, can you tell me how AC current flows in capacitor? Okay, because everybody knows DC cannot flow. So how AC current flow? So can you imagine what will be his answer? He tried actually, he remembered, and then he draw one diagram, which I can show you here. Okay. Can everybody see? That AC,
Yes,
he has
sir.
shown the AC, it is going through capacitor and joining the another line.
Yes, yes.
So the capacitor, he has shown like this, that okay, it is AC because it is going like this through the capacitor. Then I draw horizontally. Then he said, okay, wire is connected here, so it will go like this. So this level of understanding is really difficult, right? So they should know what is electrical field, what is polarization, how the things happening in this one, in capacitor, and why the AC is flowing. In the sense, you know, even reactance or AC resistance, we have to make them physical understanding of that. When the frequency is increased, okay, then I think everybody knows the reactance decreases, that is AC resistance is small. So that's what actually AC and DC, what word you are using, they are extreme limits. Okay. We are saying for DC means low frequency and AC means high frequency. And that actually depends on the reactance offered by the capacitance, 1 upon j omega c, what we say. So if they understand this, not every student are doing like that, but majority of the students, those who are mugging up, they are having this type of very funny understanding of this, because they are not paying any attention. So for example, voltage and current, these are the two quantities which are very important. And voltage is an independent quantity, current is a dependent quantity. Okay, you cannot just decide on your own how much current you can force in a given circuit. Okay, circuit will decide its own current. Okay, so you have applied your voltage and circuit will take its own current. So this type of thing, I think we have to be slightly more capable of telling them that he should be able to understand. I'm sure in every class there will be around 5 to 10% students who got this knowledge very well, and using them we should develop a team and also request them that they should develop a interaction among them. Then only I think it will be resolving that. So for example, here, you know, current equation I is equal to C dV by dt. Okay, so C dV by dt, they write very easily. Okay, they solve it, all the numerical things and all that. But when I ask, okay, this, what is the meaning of I is equal to C dV by dt? Okay, they are stuck up. Means the rate of change of voltage, okay, dV by dt. And some student also confuses between writing, like they write V is equal to C di by dt or something like that. Means inductance equation and capacitor equation, they are confused. So in that sense, I think if you tell them that what is impossible to happen in a capacitor, ideally, when there is an insulator, that it blocks the current, right? Current cannot happen. That is philosophically. But when in order to, you want to make it possible. So how to make it possible? By changing the voltage, another quantity, like voltage across it. So if you change rapidly the voltage across the capacitor, only then you can force the current, right? So I think there is no need of remembering the equation. What is most important is you should know what is philosophically impossible. Obviously, you see the capacitor is an open circuit, and open circuit you cannot flow the current. But I want to flow the current, so I have to change the voltage across it. And if you change it at a higher rate, the current will be higher, right? It's so simple. And a similar thing applicable to inductor. Inductor is just a wire, okay, and it has some geometry and dimension and gauge and all that. Depending on that, inductance value will be calculated. All that they do, all students know how to calculate inductance, how to take the formula of the calculation geometry wise and all that. But the basic thing, like if you apply a DC to an inductor, it is just a wire. Okay, it is a short circuit. Okay, whenever you short with a wire, it's like a it's nothing, no inductance is there for DC. Okay, so that means can you develop a voltage across a short circuit? No, because short circuit means simple wire having very minimum resistance. So ideally we say short means voltage across a short is 0. So developing a voltage across the inductor will be very difficult. But I want to develop a voltage, right? So what I will do? I will change another quantity. What is that another quantity? Current. So L di by dt. Okay. So these type of techniques will enhance their understanding, and instead of using normal mugging it up formula, I think they will enjoy listening to the basic things first. For example, amplifier. Any amplifier like voltage amplification is the basic thing which are important. So a small signal which is getting amplified, okay, with a gain of let's say 100 or whatever, it depends on what topic you are dealing with. So what is the misunderstanding here? So when I ask them that, okay, if you amplifying it like this, so does that mean, are you creating energy out of that or what you are doing? So obviously, without supply voltage or without biasing the amplifier, that means you are applying a DC bias there. And without having an operating point or a bias point, or already there is a DC energy which is available, and you are superimposing the small signal, and which at the cost of that dissipation, you are getting amplification of the small signal. Okay. So these are the very important things. Okay. And then rest of the thing they will take care. And as an instructor, we should find out what they need to have a complete understanding, this basic understanding. Okay. So I'm sure most of you will agree with me. And if we give this type of inputs, then they are self-sufficient. Even the mugging up students style can do much better performance in applying their knowledge or whatever he has studied. He can apply it in a more better manner. I think I have cleared this. Another thing, one of the important aspects, everybody knows the energy cannot be created and cannot be destroyed. Okay, let me ask if Madam permits, whether I can ask Madam.
Oh man, all yours. So it is such an interesting, like it's just. I would say that we have been talking about criteria. It's something which we are focusing on students.
Yeah, I'm talking about delivery.
Yeah. So
I have slides about criteria also. I will quickly go through that. But now whatever I am talking about this one, you will immediately be able to correlate all that is philosophically told in outcome-based education.
That's very true.
So I would like to request the participants that whether this statement is complete or not, means the energy cannot be created, cannot be destroyed.
Please write on the chat box, or may I launch a poll for this?
Bharti again.
So Bharti, she is actually a physics teacher, so she will definitely say.
Right.
Okay, sir, it is an incomplete statement, sir. It can be transferred from one form to another. That would be complete. So it is not just it is created, not destroyed, but it can be converted to any other form of energy.
I hope everybody has understood what Bharti said. But let me tell you, Bharti, even this statement, what you said, is still incomplete, practically. So you rightly said that it can be transformed from one form to another form. And also the basic statement cannot be created and cannot be destroyed. It goes along, and it can be transferred one form to another form, but not free of cost. Okay. Are you getting my point, Bharti?
Yes.
Bharti? it's not possible to convert one form of energy into another form without any cost involved.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
And this is what is engineering basically. Engineer must know that basic engineering is around this only, this law only, that you want to minimize the losses in order to convert one form of energy into another form. Like for example, switch mode power supply. Okay, you want to reduce the volume and you want to get more efficiency. So had it been, can you imagine that one form of energy can be converted into another form without any cost? What would have been philosophically the result of the world? It's very simple. Nobody would have learned anything.
I agree. I agree with you.
There is no need of doing anything. Okay, every energy is freely available. So I can give a concrete example. Like initially, the Gulf countries were having a lot of oil storage in their land. So it was as if they were creating energy for them. Okay, and since energy was abundantly available, they were getting money. So they are not actually doing anything. They are selling only. Okay, so it is like they thought energy can be created. Some philosophically we can say like that. But finally they understood that it is not going to last for a long time. They have to get educated. They have to learn, and they progress well in that direction now. And one day I'm sure everybody knows that now they are quite technically advanced and all that they are trying. So obviously, energy concept is most important for all engineers, basically, whether he's a computer science, whether he's anything. Okay. So what is basically engineer is doing? Like computer science is doing coding with optimum, means minimum time with he is developing the coding in such a most efficient coding. Like because coding can be done in a very long manner and it takes long time and inefficient coding. But so it is something similar, that you are actually using minimum energy and minimum cost for solving the problem. So everything is around that philosophy. I hope everybody agrees to that. So I would like to, and there are plenty of things like this, and a lot of practical experience that while teaching in the classroom. And rightly said, there are many constraints that most of the time we cannot complete the subject. But any subject you see, there will be initial 4-5 topics which are very basic, and the basics are applied in the next topic. Okay. So if the instructor takes care of basic in a very right direction and asks students to apply it in the next chapter properly, on their own also they can progress very well. Okay. We have studied like that. This we have actually implemented. Suppose, for example, 4 months you will 5 topics you are completed and 6 topics is something which is application oriented. You let them student do it on their own. If time permits, you can interact, and you can because now because of the COVID pandemic, interaction platform is available for everybody in online manner. So I'm sure this online phenomena will be most useful even when COVID goes away. It's already gone, and the teachers can, if they spend some time even after the classroom teaching with the students, I think they can get most out of the students and help the institute to grow in a real manner. Okay. So having a recruitment placement statistic, I think in my opinion, does not reflect correctly many times. But for parents, it's a very important parameter, so they feel very happy. But for students, they psychologically they should be very confident, and if they go through all the things properly, then their personality will be most important and quite well developed, and they will take a minimum time in actual field. Otherwise, they will take a long time to grow. So that is what I think.
Yes.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you. It was, yeah.
Some noise is coming. What is the problem?
Yeah, so, but we are, can you,
minute.
I mean, participants, are you able to hear the noise? I am sorry,
Oh.
but
Hello?
yeah. I didn't hear any noise. Yeah.
Oh God.
Some
noise.
No, we are not hearing
Your
the
voice
noise.
is not coming.
Nothing.
No, the participants are able to hear me.
I'm not
Professor
able to.
Kundekar. All right, so there must be some, your.
Oh, I have to reconnect or what?
No, I can hear you. I can hear you. Just a minute.
Hello? Am I audible? Oh, I'm not able to hear you. Okay. Let me test. Yeah, now I'm okay.
Okay. So thank you so much for your such a wonderful interactive. You made it so interactive. That was just out of like so many areas, so many lectures were there, which were people really appreciated, but they were all on one topic.
Correct.
And it was such a wonderful exposition of how we can make classes interesting, and how the understanding of students can be increased, can be enhanced, the learning experience can be enhanced. And now the time has come, Professor Kundekar, to...
Oh, there is some problem.
Oh, sorry. No, not program. You want to share something? Definitely, please share. I thought you have completed.
Some noise is there. Again gone.
Okay, I thought that you have completed.
Hello?
Sir, you are audible, sir.
Is it okay, madam?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello? Oh. एक minute. Hello?
Writing on the chat box.
Hello?
Sir, you are audible, sir.
Hello? 1 minute. Hello?
We can hear you, Professor.
Hello?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, but ये noise क्यों आ रहा है? ओहो. हाँ. अच्छा, मतलब बाकी नॉइज नहीं आ रहा है ना कुछ भी? नॉइज नहीं आ रहा है ना कुछ भी? अच्छा, तो मैं इसको कंप्लीट करता हूँ. राइट. हाँ, बिल्कुल. अच्छा, वैलिडेटरी मच. ओके, 1 minute. Yeah.
So we can hear you, Professor Kundekar. Yes, yes, Professor Kundekar.
Oh,
Can't you hear us? Maybe there is some problem in your microphone. We can hear you very loud and clear. No problem. Audible.
madam, okay, I think I'm not able to listen to you. हेलो हाँ मैडम
हाँ, वो आपकी आवाज तो आ रही है हम लोगों को।
हाँ लेकिन ठीक है, मैं सिर्फ बात करता हूँ, फिर मुझे सुनाई नहीं दे रहा था आपका। हाँ, मैं कंप्लीट कर देता हूँ। ये मेरा स्क्रीन शेयर हो गया था क्या? ओके, हाँ मेरे इसमें कुछ नॉइज क्यों आ रहा है पता नहीं, बट लेट्स होप आई थिंक इज इट ओके, स्क्रीन इज ओके, या आई विल जस्ट कंप्लीट दिस. So I hope you agree with this. There is a, I think everybody knows Picasso, and I'm always doing that which I cannot do in order that I may learn how to do it. Okay, these are the words of Picasso, a famous Spanish artist of the 20th century. I think everybody knows who is Picasso and all. Okay, clearly indicates learning is a fundamental to master that which one could not originally accomplish. Okay, so however, setting out to accomplish something which is ill-defined can prove cumbersome and frustrating. This is especially so for freshman engineering students in higher education, who may encounter learning outcomes that which they must master or accomplish that are ambiguous and unmeasurable and unmanageable. Okay, so this, I think this type of things, okay, everybody knows that teaching these, I think there are plenty of lectures available in YouTube and everywhere, that how to design a curriculum, teaching, assessment and all that. What is most important is that as an instructor, knowing all these things are good, but delivering in what way, the instructor only can develop that type of skills. If students are to learn desirous outcome in reasonably effective manner, then the teacher fundamental task is to get students to engage in learning activities that are likely to result in their achieving those outcomes. Okay, it is helpful to remember that what student does is actually more important in determining what is learned than what the teacher does. Okay, so what we are saying is our teaching might be important to students, but what student is learning is the most ultimately important. And sometimes we are so lucky to have good students. In a class, around 10 to 20% students might be very talented and they are interested. So using them, even the teacher can develop, okay, their own teaching material in such a manner that everybody, okay, can take care of other students also. I think because it is a valedictory, I will not go ahead with other slides. There are plenty of slides which you might be already knowing. Okay, so that's why I have started only with interaction earlier, and these type of things everybody is having access to. Many of the outcome-based research, YouTube, I think everybody knows that. So that's why I have initially thought that instead of starting the PPT type of interaction, even I'm sure in classroom teaching also, PPT should be avoided. That is my philosophy. I don't know you will agree with that, it may help to complete the syllabus and all that. PPT can be used for improving the efficiency in the classroom teaching. In the sense, for example, you are drawing one circuit which takes long time, so you are saving the time, but it is already on the display, and now you are trying to actually explain it that way. Otherwise, I have seen in even the highly ranked institutes where I was working, most of the faculty involved in only teaching using PPT. So, and PPTs are easily available with the publisher, and you are using the PPTs, and in the classroom subject, suppose chapter 1 is finished within 40 minutes. Okay. Whereas if content and basic things might need for most of the students will take time. So initial few topics which are very basic has to be dealt very delicately and very nicely in order to deliver exact message to the student, and only then they can apply. I think I will stop it here, and all these things which are already aware. So I assume that you have already gone through outcome-based education session earlier, and you are quite aware about intended learning outcome, teaching, and everything, and assessment and rubrics and all that. Okay, but all that philosophy might be able to give you some management of your course material, but finally it is you who will define and how to deliver, and how the students get interested in your teaching, and how you will get enhancement through students. All these things are important. So thank you very much, madam. I will complete it here. I have taken a lot of time.
No, you have
So,
taken,
thanks a lot.
you have
Unfortunately,
touched
I am
upon
not able.
many things which otherwise people have not discussed. Especially, I also agree with you that PPT can only be considered as a enabling tool for for presenting some visuals. And so such a nice exposition, Professor Kundikar. We are so happy, and on behalf of so you are not able to hear us, it seems. Yeah. Yeah. We are listening, and it was such a nice, presentation. And no, it was a wonderful exposition. We really enjoyed, and I agree with you that PPTs should be minimally used. Yeah. And I'm feeling so sad that you will not be able to hear the participants' feedback, but we will share with you. So, yeah, yes, sure. So yes, yes, that's the problem. So participants, we would like to, if you have any questions or anything, please. Yeah. So I'm putting the mic on. If you have any questions, please feel free in raising your hand. And we were so happy to listen to him today. Participants, if you have any questions, anything that you want to say or convey to Professor Kundikar, he is able to hear through my phone. Yeah.
There is a huge noise in my.
Okay.
I don't know why it is happening. I am not at home now. That is the problem. Otherwise, I would have that at office.
Okay. So
anyway,
it seems,
So it seems. Go ahead, and thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you so much, sir. We are so thankful to you, and on behalf of our academy and
convey my regards to all participants. And anytime they can write to me, will be extending my help on all the topics. There is no issue.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. They're listening to you, and we are so thankful to you, sir. And we wished that you were present in the valedictory. In fact, but now we will take only feedback of participants, and then we will close. Thanks for your
valedictory, formal valedictory function.
I mean, after this, there was, this is supposed to be valedictory.
Okay.
So your is valedictory address, and then followed by, I mean, we will ask participants about the feedback, and then we will say them goodbye. And that's all.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wish all the faculty to enjoy their profession. Okay.
Yes.
And I just be in